New wave, which is 400 miles to the east-southeast of the Cape Verde Islands, try to develop, it's going to have to do so while moving quite rapidly. So here's the model, just kind of pushing it along, keeping it north of the islands. But it does keep an entity right through Saturday. So certainly something that we can watch here as this thing continues to head off toward the west-northwest. All right, another area that we're looking at, I'd rather put this in here. The named storms, remember guys, the bulk of the season is certainly August through October. 80% of the tropical season exists between August and October. So big time action in through there. All right, jumping across the Atlantic into the Pacific side here, another area of invest that the models actually take all the way to Hawaii here. This will be something that we'll watch over the next couple of days as it heads again south and west of Baja and potentially develops into another eastern Pacific storm. Back to you.
Thanks, Jim. And we want you to stick with the Weather Channel tonight for an all-new episode of Hurricane Hunters.
While scanning Hurricane Sandy, the crew sees something they've never seen before.
As they make their way out of the storm, a once-in-a-lifetime sight for these veterans of hurricane hunting.
Oh, look at that. That's snowing that beats a bear.
It's freaking snowing. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, this is so bizarre.
So is that your first in the tropical system to include the snow? Oh, yeah, it's definitely a first. Ooh, that's ice out there in Orlando.
Icing destroys the aircraft's ability to produce lift. The wing doesn't produce lift, we don't fly. It's that simple.
They're waiting for the automatic de-icers to kick in.
It blasts hot air
No.
600 degrees Fahrenheit, 125 psi. You see that? It rolls off in little chunks.
The snow and ice confirm that the winter system has begun to merge with Sandy.
So on the flight, we're seeing this actual transition take place, and this is worrisome to me because now this thing is combining with this cold air. This is going to add a lot of energy to the storm.
Watch Hurricane Hunters tonight at 9 Eastern, only here on the Weather Channel.
And another hour of Weather Center Live is straight ahead. Chris Warren and Crystal Egger here to show you through.
And Storm Tracker Jim Cantori is with us as well. He's tracking the severe storm threat for the Midwest and the Ohio Valley.
A flash flood watch is in effect for our area. Here's our local Doppler radar. Partly cloudy with isolated thunderstorms possible. High 89. Chance of rain 30%. For tonight, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Low 70. On Tuesday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 96. Our 7-day outlook.
Crystal Egger and Chris Warren here with you for Weather Center Live, and here's what we're working on tonight.
Damaging wind and hail in the forecast for millions of people from the Midwest to the Ohio Valley. Today and tomorrow, we have expert analysis of what you need to know before the storms hit.
A lot of dangerous lightning out there. Plus, just call it Wetlanta. In fact, he went to Seattle and got a tan, and we can't seem to get any sun over here in the south. It is still raining and more on the way.
And is it possibly Dorian in the making on the way? A closer look at what could be the next named storm in the Atlantic.
From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching Weather Center Live.
15 million today, nearly 35 million tomorrow. That's how many people are at risk for severe weather.
All right, let's get right to the areas we're watching. We have a cold front coming through across the north, and that's going to set the stage for some severe weather. Severe thunderstorm watch spots here until 10 p.m. It does include parts of Wisconsin back into Iowa.
So a big threat right now, and to break down the storms like only he can.
Hey guys, good to be back with you guys tonight, that's for sure, as we watch storms, rotating thunderstorms across Wisconsin and southeast Minnesota continuing to trek on off toward the east. We've actually had a couple more clouds and brief tornado touchdowns today down near the La Crosse area. You can see these monster storms. Now it's kind of interesting because there was earlier on about 2 or 3 storms all together. This supercell has kind of sucked up the other ones down near La Crosse and pulled them in, and so now you have this one monster core right through here. But earlier on, again, look at the earlier images when this was back up near Winona. You see the little hook right there? And that's where we had, again, some fallen clouds sighted back through Fountain Home as well, and all this has moved off to the southeast and just absolutely pummeling this area with heavy rain and some very, very gusty winds as well. Another strong storm up here just to the east of Hale, crossing over the river. This one dropping off to the southeast. This has had at times a little rotation on it, so it could be one of those storms that decides to cycle back through. Watch out in Alma, Neilsville, and also into Pine Valley as well. And look at these storms just sitting here from Waterloo to Fort Dodge. Now, granted, there are severe thunderstorm warnings on them, but they are also not moving very quickly at all. So this is becoming a flash flood situation down and through here. Look at the rainfall rates too. We're talking 3 to 5 inches an hour here south of Mason City. So all this continuing to head off to these. Look at that, 4.8 as estimated by the radar. I'm sure we'll get some ground truth. There's a lot of gauges out there in some of those cotton fields, or excuse me, not cotton, but cornfields. All right, south of Wichita, this has been the monster storm of the day, in my opinion, up near Arlington, Kansas, which is northwest of Wichita. Miles worth of power poles pushed over by the wind with this thing. So estimates, they're about 60 to 70 miles per hour. Then the storm moved just to the south of Kingman and produced 60 to 70 mile per hour winds for 20 minutes along with golf ball size hail. And you'll notice the big hail here, then the storm kind of, if you will, rains itself out of the hail, and then all of a sudden now the core is growing again. So we have the core intensity once again east of Anthony, south of Conway Springs. So if you're a trucker and you're looking at this and heading south in Wichita, probably over the next hour or so, you probably want to see what the core of that storm is doing, because that kind of big hail, that kind of big wind, that kind of big rainfall over Interstate 35 is not going to be something that you want to deal with, believe me, especially if that thing holds together like it's been doing. That upper low that we've watched since July 10th is sitting off the California coast. We'll talk more about that later in the show, but it's also opened up the Gulf of California. It's brought all sorts of warm, moist, humid air up into Southern California, into Nevada, even into the San Joaquin Valley. So we've got showers and thunderstorms here all over the place, from San Diego County up through Riverside County, up into Ventura County. I mean, all these areas just getting absolutely hammered. Even western Clark County, which is west of Las Vegas, and through here. So just about everything that goes up, very little steering, not much of a chance to get these storms to push their way out of themselves out of the way. So we've got essentially a downpour coming on, and some of this is over high terrain. So we've got a lot of mudslides and rock slides, as been reported by the California Highway Police. All right, tomorrow's severe weather threat. Again, even with this trough in place here, it really hasn't dried out the moisture, so there's plenty of cold air aloft. There's plenty of moisture to work with. Our upper level jet stream will push that cold front right along to the Ohio Valley, and with this deep tropical moist flow coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, still around our Bermuda High, we will have severe thunderstorms tomorrow like we're having today. Instead of tonight them being in Wisconsin and Iowa, tomorrow they push across the Ohio Valley, and then on Wednesday even further off toward the south and east. So really we're just going to get right back to what we started with this week across the south. So again, it is that same upper low off the California coast that we've been watching since July 10th that is controlling the weather in Southern California. Amazing. Crystal and Chris, back to you.
All right, Jim, thanks. And if you can safely take pictures or record video of severe weather in your area, we would love to use them right here on Weather Center Live. You can email them to eyewitness@weather.com. You can also upload them to weather.com/eyewitness, or use the Weather Channel app for your smartphone or tablet. Chris, remember, safety first.
So that's exactly right, Crystal. Here's some video. Driving in the rain, a soggy south. Not a whole lot of walking outdoors in Memphis today. The rain coming down pretty hard here. Made for some tricky driving. Some of the ponding on the roadways, so a little difficult out there. Meanwhile, let's take a look right now at Atlanta. There's a little bit of sunshine, but it was wet earlier this afternoon. Most of the month, in fact, has been wet in Metro Atlanta. So if you live in this area, you might be asking yourself, have you had it with the rain yet? Or we're asking you that. Have you had it with the rain yet? Because measurable rain, out of the last 21 days, 14 there's been. Numbers if you wanted to add that. Bottom line, it's been cloudy and it has been wet. In fact, of the annual rainfall, what you would expect in an entire year, already at 80 9%. So seeing a lot of wet weather in July and early summer. It really has been pretty soggy in the south. This is a look at where the rain is coming down right now, and the flashes here. You see the flashes going on. This is a look at where the lightning is that are associated with these storms. So the panhandle of Florida, parts of southwest Georgia, central and southern Alabama into Mississippi, seeing some of the heavier rain right now. And within these areas, there's some green outline spots, and those are flash flood warnings. So the rain is heavy enough to cause some of that flash flooding. So be careful if you live in those spots. So early this week, there's a dip in the jet stream, cooler air. That's bringing some relief to the north. We have this moist flow here, and this is the area where you're going to see some more of the showers and the storms in the south. So this is how it's going to look on Wednesday as that front segs a little bit farther to the south. Along that, you're going to see the storms. And in Atlanta tomorrow, another day with some storms, a break on Wednesday, and then Thursday, once again, some showers and storms. Temperatures staying below 90 degrees. It's going to be in the 80s, getting close to 90 on Wednesday. And then finally, drier weather by Friday, and then again on Saturday, should be a bit drier as well. Crystal?
Good. Hopefully a dry weekend for a change. Well, the Midwest is in for a cool down this week, and at least